Hi, I'm called Rochas Nzimufo, and this is my submission for the Diagrid Catalyst Hackathon. I attempted building a real-time package delivery microservice API using Catalyst APIs and AWS services. This overview will be broken down into four stages. The first stage would describe the architecture, what you're currently looking at, of the backend API. In the second stage, I'll be testing this API using Postman. In the third stage, I'll be testing the API again using a GraphQL endpoint. The package delivery microservice API is broken down into 6 different services. Also, each of these services represents a Catalyst app ID. So we have the user service, which is responsible for everything users. It exposes endpoints. Let me zoom in a little bit. Endpoints to create, read, update, and delete different types of users, such as customers, delivery agents, and admins. This user service, like I mentioned earlier, it's a Catalyst app ID and it's connected to a store, which I chose MongoDB, and a message broker, which I went with SQS and SNS of AWS. The next service is the package service, which is responsible for everything packages. The same thing: create package, get a package, create a package pickup request, and the package pickup request actually invokes the pickup service, and the pickup service uses the Catalyst request response API to get a free delivery agent from the user service here, and then actually sends an event to the package service. There are three services: are the delivery service, which is responsible for uh, frequent location updates of the delivery package as it moves from the sender to the destination. And then we have the payment service, which is actually a data workflow. I think the architecture is here. Yes. So what happens is that we send a create payment intent to the user, and then wait for the approval. So they can either approve the payment intent or they cancel it. And this process actually has a timeout of 200 seconds. So it depends if they don't do if they don't either approve or cancel this the request within 200 seconds, then we send a timeout event, or we send an approve or cancel event, which actually then stops the workflow. And then we have, I think the final one is the notification event, which just receives all the events going through our application. Welcome to the testing phase for the package delivery microservice API. I took the liberty of actually outlining each endpoint under each service. If you can look on the left of the Postman application, you would see that. So let's go ahead and actually run some of the APIs and see how it works. So I'll start with the create new user endpoint. I've already gotten my public endpoint from App Runner, and I've inputted it here, and this is the endpoint to create a new user. I already have the body, so I'll just go ahead and hit send. And as you can see, it has brought back a 200 HTTP code response of the newly created user. I can go ahead and retrieve a user. I'll just go through this really quick since I'm actually running out of time. I can also retrieve users of a particular type. Let me say a customer. I need to retrieve all the customers on the system. So with this, you see it brings back a list of customers. Each of them, the user type is called customers rather. And then let's go ahead and create a package. I can go ahead and create a package. So the package also, I get the public URL from AppRunner, and then I have a body for that as well. And then I hit send. Also, it saves and brings back and returns what it saved. And I can also get the package. If you can see, I've actually gotten the package ID and passed it in the URL. So if I hit that, if I send that, it brings it back. Then I can get all user packages, like packages that were created by a particular user, which is really essential, especially on the front end application. So if I hit that, you see there's nothing created by this user. But I can go ahead and look for packages that are created by this user, which I'll do that later on. But let's go ahead and then we'll come back to this. So also we can get packages by status. So let me say I want to get all assigned packages, or all packages with their assigned status. So there's no package with an assigned status. Let me say pending status. And it brings back packages with the status pending. And one of the most important aspects of this API is the payments. So let's go ahead and make a payment request. So in order to make a payment request, this is the URL. It has a body which takes the amount, the user ID, and the package ID. So I'll send this. And when I send this, it will actually wait. So what is actually happening is that you wait for 200 seconds so that I can either confirm the payment or I reject it. So I need to go to the database. Please be fast. Okay, I think this is it. Yes. So the status is in progress. So I need to take the payment intent ID, and then I come back to Postman. Since I want to confirm this transaction, I'll paste it there, and then I hit send, and it succeeds. And if you can see, the payment also succeeds. And if we go to Catalyst, we'll see that it was a workflow, and the workflow completed. Well, look at the time. So, and if we come back to our database, we'll see that this status has to change to success. So we'll have to refresh and would see that the status has been changed to success. So that kinds of gives a feedback to the front end user about the stages of their transaction. Like this is it, this is the last one. So that's how payments work. Welcome to the next testing phase of the package delivery microservice API, where we'll be testing security, authorization, and the real-time aspect of our API. I actually used AppSync to implement all of this. I implemented security and authorization with AWS Cognito, and then I used AppSync subscriptions for the real-time aspect of it. Now, I'll be illustrating this using a single API endpoint, which is the package delivery movement endpoint. This endpoint actually continuously updates the location of a package as it moves from the sender to the destination. So here, this endpoint is protected by AWS Cognito. So you have to actually be signed in before you can utilize this endpoint. You cannot use it with an API key. So if I go ahead right now, I have an API key, but if I go ahead and hit send, you see that it will return an unauthorized error type. So not authorized to access this endpoint. So here, what I have to do is I have to sign in with the valid Cognito user, which I already have here. So I'll go ahead and log this user in, or incorrect username and password, no problem. Let's just resolve that. So no problem, you can see the password. All right, it's signed in successfully. So I save it and then I hit send again. So it has sent, this is an update. If you can see, we'll have the destination address and we'll have uh, the current package geolocation. So this will keep on changing. You can keep on changing this and sending. But now this doesn't illustrate real time, uh, the real time aspect of the API. We need to see it being received in real time. So I have on another tab is the subscription, which I'll run this subscription, and then now I'll keep on sending the package. So if you see there's uh, how do they call this? A pop-up notification on the subscription. So you can go ahead and keep, you don't even necessarily need to change this, but obviously you'll be changing because the package is moving. So as we keep sending, it will keep on receiving it. That's the real-time aspect of it. So this is how the front end app actually receives the package updates and then updates the position of the package on the map. I actually illustrated this on the mobile front end, which I will not be able to illustrate, but